Greetings, programs! Something completely different. It's not tanks, it's not Crusader Kings, it's a whole other thing. It's FTL, and the Advanced Edition just came out, and I've been putting some hours into it because it's a fun little game. If you don't know what it is, there are plenty of videos out there that explain FTL or reviews and whatnot. I'll probably explain some stuff as I'm going along, but I don't really want this to be a review video. It's just me playing FTL, and yeah, like I said, I will try and explain stuff as I'm going along as well, so it doesn't totally, if you're not familiar with it, that it doesn't totally throw you. You're just sitting there thinking, what is this? What's happening right now? Which, to be fair, is, you know, what happens in my brain a great deal of the time. Anyway, also, I've forcibly prevented Caption Guy from having any hand in this. He is definitely not taking part. Although I'm going to make one concession. This is going to be the, if it will fit, the HMS Caption Guy, and that way, if it gets blown up, I won't be sad at all. So, we'll go with an NG ship, because I like the NG ships. Although so much in FTL, it's basically RNG, the game. The end is always the same. It's always the same boss fight, and you know what to expect from the boss fight, but getting to the boss fight can be so incredibly hard. And I play it on easy mode. There's now a hard mode. Up until now it's been easy and normal, and advanced came out with a hard mode. I struggle enough on easy mode, for crying out loud, so yeah. HMS Caption Guy, there we go. And if it blows up, I won't be sad at all. So that's Jose, and there's a joke Armando Iannucci did once that was supposed to be a terrible joke, but I thought it was actually quite funny. Have you heard about the Mexican fireman who named his children Jose and Jose B? Yeah, there you go. Armando Iannucci, he's actually quite... he's doing some kind of TV show at the moment that I was reading about him the other day on something. I don't know, in the US. Anyway, I probably won't get to see it. Captain, pointy head. Well, with the A and everything. Okay. Now, this is a problem sometimes with pointy head Jedi. It's just one character too long. But stuff it, pointy head Jed. That's it. It's going to be Captain Pointy Head Jed, and we're going to have Foshi and and guess who? Oh yeah, I didn't delete the thing, did it? I'm so used to be able to shift select stuff, but you know, overwrite it, but it doesn't do that for this game. Circumflexes. There we go. Now, place your bets. Who will be the first to die? I bet it's me. One of the features of the NG ship, there's different races in the game. NG are kind of semi-robotic. They're good at repairing stuff. Their ships rely on drones a lot, but they also get the NG Medibot dispersal, and basically it acts. It turns your ship into a giant medical bay. Your crew still heal fastest in the actual medical bay, but they will heal hit points wherever they are in the ship, basically. Right, easy mode and in advanced edition content on. Easy mode is hard enough, damn it. So yeah, like I said, it's RNG the game. Every single run is different. The universe is generated afresh every time, and even though you might be familiar with, you know, you might jump in and get a particular event and you think, okay, it's this event, you don't know what the outcome's going to be when you click on a given option, because it's different every time, and the game can screw you over so hard. I had a really nice run where I got a particular weapon, because there's a new weapon in the game called the Vulcan Laser, which is so freaking awesome. I hope I get one. But that was like, I was untouchable, and I got through and I beat the boss, and that was oh, when that happens, it's so good. But for every run like that, there are like 5 or 6 where you just die horribly, you know, and it's just like, yeah, the last run I didn't even get out the first sector because I encountered 3 enemies in a row that all had really powerful missile launchers. Shields don't stop missiles. Missiles just go straight through, and when they hit you, they not only damage systems, but they take off your ship hit points, the hull points, and Yeah, I just exploded without even getting out of the first sector, so that was kind of embarrassing. So this is actually, oh, okay, we're starting off with, we know where the location of a store is, but that's kind of unfortunate because I don't have any currency at the moment. So we'll jump around a bit first and see if I can't, like, jump back to the store, because sometimes there's really amazing stuff and there's nothing more annoying than finding some really amazing stuff, but you don't have the money for it. A civvy ship flies over as soon as you arrive. We'll give them fuel. They might give me some scrap in return. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. That was more than the going rate, basically, what you pay for fuel. So I've lost some fuel, but I've got some scrap. And every time you jump, you use up fuel. Every time you fire a missile, it uses up your missiles. Every time you do something that uses drone parts, you get the idea. So we'll jump here. And this is actually a feature that's new to Advanced. It's basically being able to see the jump links, because there were times playing the FTL version, you know, before this, where you jump to a location, you think that looks like it's in range of that other jump that I really need to, you know, but it isn't, and then you get stuck, and then the rebels catch up with you, and then you die, and it's so much fun. Right, attack the automated ship. So we have enough power, we have enough reactor bars to activate the ion weapon, which knocks down shields, and a combat drone, which fires lasers. And it's just the basic combat drone. Now they've got one of the new things, which is a hacking module, and they can basically entirely negate my chance to evade enemy attacks. Ooh, they've got missiles. Yeah, we shall ion blast their weapon system. The thing with ow, yeah, that was yeah. When you launch a combat drone, you basically can't control where they fire. They're just sort of firing at stuff. So I'm just relying on my drone to do the damage and my ion cannon to actually take down their shields so that my drone can do its work. So there we go, I've got some scrap out of that. Took 1 point of damage, and you want to minimize taking damage as much as possible, because you have to repair the damage. There are augments that you can get that will do it at the cost of a reduced scrap income. There are drones that will do it, but you know, you then use up drone parts. So we have jumped into an empty system, but it's given me an event. Investigate the battlefield, which could be good. I might find stuff. I did find stuff. I found a rebel fighter. Okay, now they've got drone control, so let's power up my drone, and they've got actually an offensive drone as well. That's just, you can actually mouse over. So that's just I think the same as I've got. No, it fires a beam weapon. Mine fires a little laser pulse thing. Right, ion blaster. I'm using auto fire, which basically repeatedly fires at whatever target you click. For a lot of weapons, you don't want that. Oh, I just took another hit there. A lot of weapons you want to be able to, you know, especially if you're firing missiles, because auto fire is just all your weapons will auto fire, and that can be a good thing for like some of the new weapons, which are kind of charge weapons, and they fire a repeated, you know, a very fast stream of lasers, pew pew. They're basically the Churchill 3 guns of, you know, the 6-pounders, the 57mm guns, and yeah, auto aim's useful for them, but for not so much for other things. Right, they will give me some stuff, but no, let's kill them, the rebel scum. Now, if you can kill an enemy crew but leave their ship intact, you get more stuff. In practice, this can be quite difficult because you need to be able to set their ship on fire, in which case they all burn to death, but the ship doesn't necessarily get destroyed. Or you need to be able to send over boarding parties, or it's quite tough. So, especially at this stage of the game where we don't have anything. So we'll try a jump to the store, and this is kind of, well, I've got 100 scrap, so I might be able to get something. So, this is another new thing that they've kind of extended the stores. Backup DNA bank. Okay, the alternative, which is a new thing in Advanced to med bays, is a clone bay, and if your crew member dies, they are basically a fresh clone pops out, but you lose some experience for that character. And if the clone bay is offline and the character dies, then that's it, they're dead. But clearly, if you have this augment, that's not the case. Scrap recovery arm is, oh hell yes, 10% more scrap from any source, which basically pays for itself in a pretty short space of time. There are several other things I could do. A fire bomb, which uses up a missile part, basically an incendiary bomb that teleports to the enemy ship, bypasses shields, quite useful, but like I say, it uses up missile parts, so you will find missile parts, but it's quite expensive. Hull laser one, well I don't have enough for that anyway. Mind control is one of the new things, hacking is one of the other new things. The energy ship gets more slots for drones but less slots for weapons, so you are reliant on getting some good drones. We also don't have quite enough for a new crew member, and Rockmen they're very slow, but they're very good for putting out fires, and they have more health, so they're actually quite good for combat as well. I don't know, I'm kind of tempted by this firebomb actually. Might be useful. I don't exactly have many missiles right now though. And you can always, if you get to another shop, you can always sell stuff that you've got later on. But the fact that I've found a scrap recovery arm so early on will give me, that gives a 10% boost every time I get scrap, so that's really useful in terms of being able to afford stuff later down the road. I will leave the firebomb because A, we don't have very many missiles. Actually no, we'll fix the hull damage, and B, I haven't actually been able to put anything into here. So actually I'll get one reactor bar so I can put engines up to maximum. That increases my evasion chance, and that means I can dodge more attacks. So it was worthwhile going to this store after all, and it was worthwhile going and getting some scrap, but it puts the rebels not very far behind me. A rebel ship hails. We did not fight a water, yeah, blah blah blah. Die, rebel scum! Now, I didn't buy any more fuel or any more drone parts, so this is going to be interesting. Oh yeah, also, you have to actually fire at their shields. Now, they don't have any, they've got one weapon, but it might be a nasty weapon. I haven't learned to recognise all the weapons yet. I can generally recognise things like missile launchers. There are some beam weapons that are quite nasty because they will ignore a certain number of shields, but yeah, this guy is actually quite easy to beat. I think what I'm going to do with this video, by the way, I'm actually just going to record a complete run through as far as I can get, and then chop it up into episodes, because if I record a bit at a time, I think it's going to be there's going to be a better flow to things if I actually just go for it in one big take, as it were, and then chop it up later. Now, I can go to a nebula, and that gives me a little bit of choice, but nebulas are nasty because they knacker your sensors, basically. Or I've got maybe 3 different systems here, so nebulas are to be avoided, although there's another species called the slugmen. I think, is it slugmen? I can't remember. But they are telepathic, so they can basically, even if you're in a nebula and your sensors are down, you can still detect where the enemy crew is. Rebel ship has been patrolling, so I am going to take them down. Launch combat drone, get the ion blaster at their shields. And this is, when you start off with any of the configurations, there's kind of a set way of fighting. And it's basically, you're dependent on getting scrap, you're dependent on finding stuff at stores, and even getting stuff from, oh, missile, oh, it missed, from quests and whatever else, to actually customize the ship how you want it. And no 2 runs are ever the same. That's the beauty of this game. It is no, we will not accept surrender. So let's just pummel these guys into the Dark Age. One more shot. There we go. It's tiny pieces. 2 missiles, 1 drone part. So I've basically neutral and drone parts there. I've used 1 but got 1 back, and 26 scrap. So that's all right. Jump to the next sector. I don't think I want to jump there. They basically advance. Every time you jump, they advance. So you can sit in a given sector as long as you like. It's when you jump that they actually advance and catch up with you, and that can be quite nasty. The other danger is you have to watch your fuel like a hawk, because if you run out of fuel, you're basically stranded in a sector and all you can do is wait, which uses up a turn. All the while, the rebels are advancing. So you don't want to run out of fuel. You can get events where somebody will come and give you a bit of fuel or you can have events where rebels attack you, or pirates, or whatever. So it's anyway. This is a new thing. This is a pulsar, which basically randomly, in real life, I happen to know this. Pulsars are basically, I don't know, is it neutron stars? I think so. They're spinning incredibly fast, and because of that, they send out these massive electromagnetic pulses. And they've modelled this in the game by the fact that every time one of these things pulses, it knocks some of your systems offline, basically. So, standard thing, launch the drone, and he's got an ion thing as well, so let's knock his shields down. Now, it doesn't actually matter that much. Oh, that's a beam weapon. Beam weapons are nasty because they can go over multiple compartments at once. So what we'll do, actually, is we'll concentrate on his... weapons and knock them out with the ion, and actually just let the ion pulse knock out his shields. So if I can keep his shields down, I don't even need the... powering up the FTL. Right. Enemy FTL delayed, that's okay, because his engines are knocked out by my drone, so that's fine. We nearly got this guy. Taking a little bit of damage, but that's okay. Now, the nice thing about the ion sectors is that once the fight is over, you're basically fine. Whereas there are other sectors where you jump close to a sun with the solar flare, and if you stick around too long, your ship will catch fire, basically speaking. You end up running around trying to put fires out, and that's not much fun. But at least in these new sectors, it's all right. Remarkable binary system. The view is beautiful, but there's nothing else around. Sometimes there is nothing at all. That's always a possibility. Oh, there's another store. Okay, let's go there. I've got a bit more scrap now. We might find something nice. I'm really holding out for drone recovery arm. Now, that's particularly useful when you're an NG. Or I could have a flak, which basically fires a massive blast of debris. That's tricky. Shield charge booster. The thing is, it's like World of Tanks where you've got your equipment slots and some tanks, and it's like choosing the right equipment can be really hard, because it kind of like, this can all have such a profound impact on the later stages of the game, whether you survive or not in a later fight, but you don't know how it's going to go. So the drone recovery arm could be really useful, because that will save me money, because I won't have to be spending money on drones. But on the other hand, reverse ion field is useful because it has a chance to prevent ion damage. Shield charge booster boosts the rate at which your shields charge, quite useful. But this flag gun looks really good. Oh, I don't know, that's expensive. Required power 3. So it's not. I won't have to put any more. I won't have to put any more. I won't have to put any money into upgrading the weapons system and then upgrading the reactors. Because every time you upgrade one of these things, you essentially have to upgrade reactors as well. Especially with shields. Shields are really expensive in that regard. A crew member would be useful as well. I might regret this. I'm gonna flak too. Oh. The kind of, I could either get drone recovery arm and a crew member, and you know, fix up the ship a little bit, or even forego the crew member and get some more fuel, or I could go for the flak. All choices. I haven't actually used the flak before, so let's do that. Fix all, and let's get some fuel in. And a couple of drone parts as well. No, I can't get any drone parts, it's too expensive. I really hope I get the drone recovery arm. It's not... later on, it can be really useful, and if I do get it later on, so we'll take that offline. Flak! Yes! It's going to be a slow charging weapon though. And that's the thing, the more powerful weapons are the slower charging weapons, so... I think we're going to want to jump straight to the exit rather than take the risk. So there can be things sometimes that happen in the exit points, but other times they don't. So this time I've made it out of the first sector, at least, because in my last run through I didn't. So this is the sector map. This is what happens when you reach the end of a sector. You can chart a path, and you always have to go forward, so it's not like you can go double back on yourself. So you don't know what's going to happen wherever you go. Mantis control, for instance, you know, if it's a red sector, there's going to be more stuff to deal with that's shooting at you, but even in a civvy sector that can still happen. Nebula sectors, I generally tend to avoid those. There can be interesting stuff that happens in them, but you're flying without sensors a lot of the time, which again makes stuff really hard. So we'll go for the Mantis controlled sector. Actually, if I can pick up some Mantis crewmen, that'll be useful. So actually what I think I'll do is, I know I've said I'm recording this all in one, but I'm gonna be so slick and pro and do intros and outros for each one. So I'm gonna wrap this episode up here, episode 1. We're in start of sector 2. I've got me a massive honking great big flat gun. I've not lost any crew members. The ship is in good shape. I've got enough everything, so I'm feeling fairly confident. But in FTL, that can all change in a matter of minutes. So if you did enjoy this, you can hit the like button, you can leave a comment below, you can subscribe to my channel, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.